Welcome to the latest installment of the Run to Daylight stream. My name is Todd Burrows. I will be doing a Best Ball Mania today. Yesterday, I did a Best Ball Mania draft while streaming that I was not happy with. So I am going to do another one. Yesterday, I got the 11, and today I got the 11 as well. So I literally am going to get a chance to do better this time than I did yesterday. I am sharing my screen. And but first I want to talk about my friends over at the FFPC. Most of my volume does go over to the FFPC. You can see they've got the main event with $1 million first prize. They've got the Fantasy Pros Championship, $1 million first prize. I'll be playing in a lot of the $300,000 first prize, $125 Best Ball Slim. In fact, what I am going to do now is show you guys how easy it is to sign up. 4 of 12 left. I like joining when there's a lot of people in. I'm going to show you a cool feature. My 12th team, I believe. If not, I'll change that later. Pay that puppy. Use one of my credits. The payout structure on this league is great. You get 300 for advancing, although this year they changed it. You might not get a full 300 depending on how you do in week 15. So week 12, see, I can't even count. And 13. So one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to take a running back in the underdog draft. All right, so once that's done, you can go to the league and you can actually see who else is in the league. If you're chicken, you can exit the league. You can look at who the owners are. I actually, most of the time, look for stars or the better players, some familiar people in here, some guys I don't compete with a lot, which is what I like. I don't like competing against all guys that I know. I'm not going to run away from leagues either, but there are certain analysts that, especially from one site I used to work for that fired me, that I tend to look to play against. So that it will fill. There are now 2 teams left only. I joined, and I guess someone else just joined. And then the draft board is really cool. I love their draft board. I showed you some of that yesterday. Go to myffpc.com and sign up and join me in the streams. So, Anthony, Christmas in June, back-to-back days. I know I was not happy with yesterday. So let's get it so you guys can see the screen and not me. And just in time, I want to try it again with Garrett Wilson probably, but I could go Gibbs. I could go Harrison. I'm just going to go Garrett Wilson again. I don't have a ton of Garrett Wilson. I should have showed you with the great Spike Week overlay how much I had. But, you know, we could go into Spike Week, update my – if you don't have this tool, I think you should. The overlay alone is worth it. But here is my up-to-date. Make sure I want all my players – and then you can sort by Wilson, Garrett Wilson. Oh, I do have 11%, more than I thought. Anyway, I don't mind that. I'm on the clock again. We are not going to take Taylor or Barkley. I'll take Drake London. I don't have a lot of him. I think his ADP is a bit aggressive, but so is Ayuk, so is Olave, so is I like the Devontae Adams, but I've got a lot of him. Although it's coming down to 11%. Nico Collins, Debo, Evans, Waddle, all these guys, because of the great push-up at wide receiver, all these guys are, kind of meh at ADP. But we're not going to make a mistake and take a running back this time. I did it to be a little different last time. This time I'm going to try and show you how I actually draft. Now, if Achan or Kyron fall to the end of the third round, will I take them? As you can see, I've got a lot, 17% on the whole slate of Kyron. He just keeps dropping. I think he's a good value. I think you need to have Achan shares, very low on Diggs. I like Malik Neighbors, and he has a correlation with, so you can see correlation is highlighted week 16 with Atlanta. Let's get back over. No questions. If you guys have questions, ask them as we go. I always make sure I have enough players in the queue. So I need to get to 17. Really not looking for Laporta or Henry. I don't take much Pittman, but I'll put him in. Josh Allen has that correlation. That's the way we went yesterday. Kind of got us in trouble. But I don't love Tank Dell. I don't love T. Higgins. I did early. I've kind of faded on that. I do like Pickens. Note out yesterday about how they're not happy with their second wide receiver option. I'm not a big Roman Wilson guy either. So, I mean, Pickens could be in line for a big year. And but let's see how it goes. If I do take Josh Allen, I will not come back with Kincaid like I did last time, all the way down here. So let's see if we can improve. No comments. All right. You can see me talking with my Spike Week Discord. Use dark mode. I hate dark mode. How do I even do it? Okay. All right. Oh, God, I hate that. All right. I did it for you, Updog. Come in and thank me. My eyes just do not do good with my 61-year-old eyes do not do as well with this. No comments. So back to the FFPC, you can go into a draft room. A couple things I don't love about their draft rooms, but all the players here, your roster here, the results here, the queue here, all laid out really well. They have a chat, which I think everyone would like for Underdog to get. 6 picks away. By the way, if you ever do more than one of these at a time on a browser, it does tell you how many. And I have done more than one at a time. I'm tempted to do more than one at a time now. But since I promised I would focus, I will. You know what, though? When you use dark mode, I don't see the correlations. There's my excuse not. Oh, that's right. There are no correlations, so that's why I'm not seeing it. That's fine. All right, I'm going to try a dark mode. The balls. Who has the balls? So if Cup makes it to me, I will be exceedingly happy because I don't like Zay Flowers much. I don't love Tank Dell much. You know, and then you end up pushing wide receiver that you really don't like. I do like ETN. See, Cup went. That sucks. Ugh. All right. I'm going to take ETN. Nah, I'll take Pickens. I'll stay true to the. I'll stay true. Let's see if Josh Allen makes it back. I would have trouble passing on him there. Flowers and Dell. Josh Allen made it back. Yeah, I'm okay with this because I've got the 3 wide receivers. Now I've got the week 17 correlation. If for some reason Kincaid makes it back, that's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But see, that's why I really hate the 11. Not only do you get kind of screwed in the early second, you don't get as good of a wide receiver in the first, and you get screwed in the second. You really come back with not great options in the third. I will put Cook in there, Hollywood, Jaden Reed, Richardson. No, I can't go quarterback again. Not going Rashad White or Mixon. I would consider Pitts. Ridley, I'm not a worthy guy. Odunze, I think, is too high, but you need some. I do like Godwin. And Keon Coleman is and Hopkins are my backup plans. I do like Brian Thomas, too. And he's got a week 15. Not that I care that much about week 15. All right, 16 picks away. Up dog. All right. I've been clicking Pickens so much, not sure if it's sharp or not. I mean, look, let's do a quick search. Pickens. So with worst quarterbacks last year, my favorite stats site is Pro Football Reference. So you can see 84 targets as a rookie, 106 last year, 63, 18.1 yards per reception, only 5 TDs with a lousy quarterback. Now Deontay Johnson is gone. I think Pickens, again, the value, it really is kind of a deal with the devil. If you don't get these wide receivers you like, but you're still taking wide receivers, it could, I think, backfire spectacularly on us this year if we go too heavy into it. I think the answer is don't end up with the 11. Because if you go back to the draft board, A.J. Brown, 10, I don't mind him. I don't mind Breeze. Not big on Puka. Bijan, I'm great with going hero and then coming back. And you see how you can get Devonta Smith or Amari. It's just the board is much better right before 11. 8 picks away. So that's the other thing. When you do streams by yourself and you've got the 11, there's a lot of damn time to talk in between picks. So if you guys have questions, guys, you think I should look at coming up. So around now, as I get 4 picks away, I really don't want James Cook. I know it's a stack, but stack with a starting running back. I think I'd rather stack with Ray Davis if I'm doing that. Pitts to go with London, I don't hate. I like Hollywood the most. I like Godwin a good bit. If Hollywood makes it, that's a no-brainer. There goes Pitts. And is this guy going to, just like Cup last time, it only makes sense that he takes the best guy on the board, and he did. Again, I hate the 11. I'm going to go with Godwin. Now I've got a 104. I think Kittle is worth throwing in. Now that I've got 4 wide receivers. I mean, Keon Coleman is still not a great value. I think I would take Kittle over him. And then Kittle went. So a lot of sniping going on. A lot of sniping indeed. 55 ADP, we're up to 62. I still think if I'm going to do that, I'd rather take Keon Coleman. I don't love it. But now if he starts out slow, I've got 3 other wide receivers, 4 other wide receivers. I'm 105. I would have liked an elite tight end. I didn't get one. There is a guy that I like late very much in Dallas Goedert. So, I mean, I don't hate late tight end as much as some people. So I could, so I've got my stack. I've got my week 17 correlation. And now we're 19 picks away. And I certainly don't have any need to fade running backs going forward. Ingram is there, JSN. So since I have Josh Allen, you want to think about, so I could do another Allen Rodgers. I could do Cousins. I could do one of the Pitt wide quarterbacks. I could do Baker Mayfield. So I've set myself up for a lot of, I'm not going to take Burrow. I'm not going to take Kyler. I still like Ramondre. Najee, I don't like as much. Rashee Rice, I probably wouldn't take. I do like Zamir. I took Jameson yesterday. I'm not a big Fergie guy, but you got to put him in the queue. I'm not really on either of these guys as a first or second necessarily. I guess Brooks, I'll put him in lower. So I've got 19 guys in the queue. Curtis Samuel, I'm not going to take because I have Coleman. Certainly not going to reach. I already reached 9 picks for Keon Coleman. So I'm not going to reach for a secondary stack. Also taking tons of Coleman. Updog, thanks for the comment. Yeah, I mean, I am not. I only take him with Josh Allen pretty much. I mix in a little bit of him if he falls. So I've got him as a caution in my confidence rankings. Caution means I will push him up a little bit like I just did for the stack, or I draft him after ADP without the stack. That's how I kind of blend in a little bit of a guy that I don't like. But, he's going early enough and he's in a good enough situation. If I'm wrong on him, I don't want to be at 2% and have all that 2% just be with Josh Allen. So, all right. 4 picks away. I like Aaron Jones in this build a little bit more than Montgomery. I don't hate Ingram. It opens up Trevor Lawrence as a second guy. Definitely coming out of here with 1 running back. But let's see if I get sniped again on the guys that I like. Did I mention that I like the FFPC? I think I did. I think that was covered. And there goes Aaron Jones, the guy I really wanted. I don't really love Montgomery as a first pick. I'd rather have a guy who I think is going to be the team's number 1. So Ramondre and Zamir White are the 2 guys that I'm going to take one of them. And then if one of the tight ends falls, I'll consider them on the back end. This guy's already got a tight end. So that's the kind of thing you consider. So even though I had Ramondre yesterday, I'm going to take him today. Ingram went. I don't mind not taking Ferguson here. I think Dallas Goedert, it might be a better play straight up, and he might be there when I get back. I'm going to take Zamir White. He's the number 1 there. I like Zamir White a good bit. So now I've got 2 running backs, a 1-2-5. I'm weak at tight end, but that's okay. So Kyler 1, I would take him if he made it all the way back. Jaylen Warren's a guy I really liked. I'm up to 14% on him. I really like Zamir. I had no correlations with Jaylen Warren. I would not have had a problem with someone taking Warren or Moss. I'm not going to take either of those guys. Even if we'll look again if they fall. Curtis Samuel, obviously. Lockett, yes. Njoku, yes. Bowers, yes. Jaden Daniels, yeah, I'll put him in. I don't have anyone with Caleb. Benson, yes, he fits this build good. I've been slowing down on Javonte Williams. Had a good talk with Eric BM4 in chat, and I've heard it other places, so I don't need to be as high on him as I was. I mean, if he gets the workload he had last year, he could be good. I'm up to 10% Brian Robinson. I said I was fading him. I really haven't been. I probably misspoke in chat. All right. Question. Should put your cam over the queue when you load it to. Well, I joined before everyone, the chance that someone's following my little account and recognize me and knows I'm streaming and they want to snipe me. I just think people have been taking the best players more than guys that I like. But what I will do, and I think it's a fair point, is I'll stop saying who I like ahead of time. If you look at the way I do my queue, it's in order. So it's not in order of the guys that I like, per se. So I will say a little less about guys as I go, trying to fill space here, but a very fair comment. 15 picks away. I already like this team, and I've got now, with Ramondre, I've got the Week 16 correlation, the Week 17 correlation. I wouldn't mind Drake May as a 2. So I don't feel the need to get a second quarterback unless there's a real good value or a real good correlation. I don't even mind reaching for Drake May. 2 guys I really like late as well. So I really feel that there is right around Ray Davis and Gibson, I really feel that there is a big drop-off. I do like McLaughlin. Hubbard's okay. But I am not enthralled with most of these options. So my preference is to get to at least 5, especially in a 0 running back build. Another thing I really didn't do yesterday. No doubt. And I'm glad you mentioned it. I wasn't happy with my draft yesterday. And a lot of it was that I was streaming and I was going over the FFPC draft board. And you just, look, you don't put as much thought in when you're doing a stream. You're trying to fill up time and be entertaining. So I definitely would consider my second stacking partner with Shakir, but I don't feel I need him. I definitely want a third running back here. I wouldn't mind a tight end if one makes it. So you always look. I mean, could someone take a second tight end? Absolutely. On the back end, that same people. So what it really comes down to is if you feel you want something positionally and there's a teardrop after that person, and I got lucky, he took Cole Kmet. Does he have Caleb? Yeah, he has Caleb. So that explains that. Is there anyone I'm passing ahead of? When you're going to draft on the corner, do I like James Conner, Mostert, or Benson more than I like my tight end? And the answer is probably not. So now we'll see if Fallow NFL is going gonna snipe me. I'm gonna take Goddard. I'm just not gonna take a chance because I think I can get a running back on the way back that's as good. Goddard, to me, last year was being drafted as an elite tight end. He got hurt. I'm going to take Tajay Spears, I think. Let's just look at the running backs. No 17 correlations, none for him. I do have one with Atlanta with Brian Robinson. I've got 2 touchdown backs. I'm going to take Tajay anyway. He's my favorite. YOLO. Also gives my running back room a little more explosive plays where Ramondre and Zamir are going to be more your touchdown types. So I also like to mix the kind of people that I have in my rooms. So now I'm 1-3-5-1, but all the weight on the seesaw is on wide receiver. So I don't mind. We got 1, 2, 3. And you notice I passed twice on my stack. Josh Allen stacking is not as important. It was a nice to have, but I felt positionally I had one stack I had to bring back for week 17 and week 16. Getting a top flight tight end who could give me a winning week and getting that third running back before we run out was more important than Khalil Shakir. Thank you, Anthony. And if you guys have questions, right, about anything that I've done, throw it in. Let's talk about it. Let's fill the space. All right, so Tua and Lawrence, I didn't get him. Not going to take Chubb. I'm not a quorum guy. I don't think he fits this. Well, I guess he does fit this build. I'll put him in. Wicks, I'm a sucker for Dontavian Wicks. Not going to take Schultz. Not going to take Zeke. I like Josh Downs, Herbert, Cousins with the second stack, Freiermuth, Charbonnet, and Ford. Probably not going to take. Dotson's got some stacks, correlations. Lloyd and Kendra Miller. All right, so I might not end up getting 2 running backs coming back if Cousins is there. If Cousins isn't there, I definitely, as much as I like Wicks, let's look. So I'm 9 picks away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then it's 23 to get back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And some guys just know this off the top of their head. So Jalen Wright and Algier and Ray Davis will make it back. So I am open. To not taking double running backs. So that's again an important structural mental thing to do is to know if you don't know it by heart where everyone is, it's really good to see where, and Wix's ADP is finally starting to move up. Just too many people saying that he's good. That's why, I'm up at 17%, 28% in BBMs because, the value, if you really like a guy and you really think he's great, you definitely want to make sure that so I don't need to take Cousins, I don't think, with 3, 4 guys. The guy in the middle, does he have Pitts? No. There's 3 quarterbacks ahead of me. The only thing is, do I really like that? Oh, no. See, so here's the thing. I think Cousins, I don't have great stacking with him. I'm going to take Charbonnet. I like Charbonnet. They're going to pass more. He's more of the passing back to the running backs. And if Walker gets hurt, all right, so Cousins is here. Kendra Miller is here with a correlation. I'm going to take Cousins. And no, I don't mind that they have two of the same buys. It's actually a feature. So I got to switch back over. The Giants and Washington, both are for week 16, week 17, are both teams that I can get late correlations on that I actually like. So that made sense. I need to, next time I'm looking at running back and a wide receiver. So I can just take quarterback out. Don't even care. And I got to stop being an asshole. All right. So I would take one of these guys if they fall. Hawkinson, no, I don't think I would. Dowdle, Lloyd, Kendra Miller, Pearsall. QJ has a week 17. You can see I have almost none of him. Definitely would consider Polk. Chandler, Mooney for the stack. Burton, definitely. Jalen Wright, definitely. Luke Musgrove, no. Algier, I don't love. Ray Davis, yes. Gibson, yes. So I've got 14 in the queue and a lot of people that I'm skipping if you include quarterback. I should be good for the next grouping. Would I consider Sinnott or Sinnott? Yeah, I'll consider him. McLaughlin, I would consider. I like me some Troy Franklin. Definitely would consider Troy Franklin with my second pick. All right, so I have got the queue more than filled. Go over, no questions. Nothing interesting on chat. All right, 2452. Little weak on correlations with my running backs. That's okay. I would like a little more week 16 and week 17 action so that those become tiebreakers, especially late in drafts, where ADP now could be completely different a month from now. So if I like a guy and he's got a correlation, I will definitely prioritize that. I'm sorry, Updog. I got all right. I can see it pretty well. If I was gonna do dark mode in the future, I would switch. So here's one of the cool things. If you like Spike Week, you can go in to their draft hacker. You can manage the extension. Preferences go down to the bottom. Colors for bye week concerns, change that to white, save it. 5 picks away, refresh. I should have thought of that before. Please load quickly. Please load quickly. Why is it not loading? There we go. All right, so now you can see the correlations in the draft hacker, for your team. All right, so 2 picks away. Not taking a tight end or a quarterback here. Hawks there, but not far enough. I took him yesterday with Josh Allen. It's not far enough of a fall yet. So I really do like taking the second running back, especially a pass catching back. So that'll get me to 5. There's enough wide receivers that I like to come back with. I also get week 15. I get more correlations, but yeah. So There's my secondary stack for Josh Allen. I love Ray Davis. Loved his tape. Now, let's just look at wide receivers. Wandale gives you that week 16, but there's other guys later. I love Javon Baker. He sniped me on Franklin. But that's okay. I'm going to take Rashad Bateman. I was higher on him later, but so now we're at 2-5-6-1. I would consider tight end coming back. I would consider running back coming back. So one, I don't like Kamani Vidal, not even that late. Henry, if he falls, sure. I like Jawan Johnson. Chuba, not a Bucky Irvin person. Would consider Mims. Wandale, definitely. No on Otten. Conklin, you get that second comeback for week 17. Michael Wilson, I'm just not a fan. Luke McCaffrey, Washington, yes. Javon Baker, yes. Likely. I think what likely puts you on is better on 3 builds than 2. Fant, no correlations. Chig, no correlations. Zay Jones, Tolbert has correlations. Devontae Walker, I don't need a second Baltimore guy. I might not have enough people in the queue. I probably do. So I'm only taking a 6th. I'm probably taking a 6th running back on this team. We're probably looking at 2, 6, 8, 2. So I wouldn't mind a good second tight end to do that. Flatulent Fantasy. Hi. Happy Saturday to you. No, I won't. I lost money last year, so I'm watching my pennies. I want to get – I'm not going to max BBM probably, but I want to get close. And the rest of my money, I love doing slow drafts with the $3, $4, $5 regular tournaments, and there's enough of that I don't need. Not even doing weekly winners this year, which I did about 100 of last year. So good question. Thank you. Hopefully my answer wasn't shitty. I guess some people could argue. Let's see, I don't like my running back rooms to be, even though I'm doing a 0 running back build, and I waited. I waited. Ramondre, 7th round Ramondre, 8th round Zamir White. I mean, I waited on running back. I don't like even my, I think I don't mind winning the flex with a good backup running back. Three picks away. So most of my queue's been wiped out. Khalil Herbert is interesting. Both Khalil and Roshan give me a week 17. I don't have a lot of Khalil. I'm going to add him. Would have loved if Javon Baker had made it back. He didn't. Again, am I being sniped? Maybe. Jawan Johnson is a no-brainer for me. By week 12, Goddard week 5. I think that makes my I don't have to worry about third tight end and I also got them real late, so I'm very happy with that. I don't love Tolbert, but I feel like I'm gonna take Tolbert though. Get that correlation. Week 17 with Philadelphia, week 16 with Tampa Bay. Big play guy. I don't love him, but I think it's a good time. I thought getting my 7th was more important. I can now take tight end out. Definitely not a Dobbins guy, but end of the year, your 6th guy, you're not really looking for him necessarily early. Tyrone Tracy, Pierce with Baltimore, Roshan. I wasn't a Braylon Allen guy, but I'll throw him in. Definitely like Elijah Mitchell. Tez Walker could be a big play guy. Beckham doesn't have anything. Rondell is a stack. Elijah Moore, sure. Hyatt, yes. Come around on Khalif. George A.T. Perry gets a week 16. Shipley, definitely. I don't like Shipley that much, but I've been, you're going to be wrong. Malik Washington, I like. That should be more than enough. Players, Chase Claypool. I talked about Claypool yesterday, how he's not my ideal guy, but a lot of it with Claypool has been his head. Not his talent, not his opportunity. It's been his head. And if he gets his head, we're hearing good things about him in camp. Am I willing to burn an 18th round pick trying to hit a second tier of a stack with a guy who's explosive late? Am I willing to do that? I am. I love weekly winners. I just can't. My strategy, I still think, is the right one. One quarterback, one tight end, get them early, just load up everywhere else. It just didn't work last year, but I just don't want to chase it. 6 picks away, we're definitely going wide receiver, running back. Would I consider, if all the running backs I like are gone, just taking a 2 wide receivers? I would. I would open it back up at that point, though, to quarterback. Like a guy like Russ. You really don't need a third quarterback with this build, but, at a certain point, value is interesting. Would I consider a third tight end? I would. I'd consider Jatavian Sanders, Jelani Woods. But there looks like there is going to be plenty here. All right, so Tyrone Tracy dropped to me both. I guess he's dropping. He gives me that giant correlation that I talked about earlier, week 16 with Cousins. I still don't have anyone from Washington. There's nobody in the queue from Washington. I'm going to take Claypool here. I like Hyatt and Perry more, but Claypool, I'm going to go for that stack. I've got really strong wide receivers here. I put the money in early into wide receiver. I don't mind chasing a guy who's not going to be drafted all that much, who has talent. So that's it. We'll look final questions. No final questions, guys. Thanks so much for joining me this Saturday morning. I like this team a lot more, put more thought into it, and talk to you soon.